Newly released Hillary Clinton emails show that top donors to the Clinton Foundation were possibly seeking special favors from the State Department when Clinton was at the helm. Conservative watchdog Judicial Watch released 44 new email exchanges, which it says were not in the original 30,000 handed over to the State Department. In one email exchange, for example, an executive at the Clinton Foundation in 2009 tried to put a billionaire donor in touch with the U.S. ambassador to Lebanon because of the donor's interests there. Clinton has previously denied any wrongdoing.
There is absolutely no connection between anything that I did as Secretary of State and the Clinton Foundation. So people can say that, but I'm proud of our philanthropic work, our personal, family philanthropic work, the work of the Clinton Foundation.
The new revelations appear to be raising red flags among some of Clinton insiders. Ron Fournier from the National Journal explains.
People very close to the Clintons, including a source who's been working with the Clintons for more than 2 decades, who told me the week that the New York Times exposed this rogue server, that what this was all about was the foundation, that the blurring the lines between their political and professional lives, that's what was in the emails, was to look for the pay to play, this kind of favor giving.
So, Kimberly, this is what people have been waiting for. The classified versus non-classified email. Comey, the FBI director, came out and said we're not going to indict her, but he didn't say that she told the truth, contrary to what she had said. But now this issue, remember, and Juan Williams, when he's here, he always says this issue about the Clinton Foundation is the one that bothered him the most. Do you think that there is more where that came from?
I do, and this was the other piece that we were waiting for. We knew what came out so far about the server, but the big key issue was the pay for play, the idea of blurring the lines between personal and professional, giving favors in lieu of cash rewards and bounty, so to speak. So this, I think, is interesting because we kept saying, Comey didn't say anything about this. He left it alone. It was sort of like the elephant in the room to wonder if there could be more to this story. I think there's more to it legally and in terms of exposure and also ethically, which should matter, especially when you couple that with what's going on right now and her lack of trustworthiness and the numbers that she's kind of suffering in that department. I mean, Trump is too, but this is a specific example that you can tie to that.
After Comey did his press conference the next day, Eric, he went to Congress and he testified. And one of the things that Congressman Chaffetz asked Comey was, is the FBI investigating the Clinton Global Initiative, the foundation, as part of the FBI investigation? He declined to say, which I think left some ambiguity that maybe they did. But CNN today is reporting that the Clinton Foundation was not part of the recent investigation into the private server. It was separate, that the FBI went to DOJ earlier this year asking for it to open a case into the foundation, but the Public Integrity Unit declined. The Justice Department had looked into whether it should open a case on the foundation a year prior and found it didn't have sufficient evidence to do so. And so apparently...
Sounds familiar, right? Sounds like
that under the rug.
Those other emails, they didn't have sufficient evidence to indict her, and maybe not on this one. I disagree completely. I think this is the textbook example of quid pro quo, pay to play, corruption. So I think there will be a day where the Harvard Business School, the manual for corruption, the chapter under corruption, this will be one of the examples they use. You cannot have Hillary Clinton here with her spokesperson, Huma Abedin, working for both the State Department, Hillary here, and also the Clinton Foundation. Now, this email that you talk about from Doug
Band.
Doug Band at the Clinton Foundation saying we need to take care of this big donor to Huma Abedin. Now, she's working for both, so you've already got possible corruption.
Well, remember she got that sweetheart deal to get paid by Teneo at the same time as the State Department?
But then the bottom line is the Doug Band introduces her to the big donor to the Clinton Foundation, who therefore gets access through the State Department. State Department is doing business with the Lebanese ambassador. You can't tie quid pro quo. You can't define it anymore.
We might have to go to Shepard here in a minute.
Jewel, you know how tight they are with Doug Band.
Jewel, what do you think?
It's atrocious, and I don't understand it, and I don't get... First of all, I never...
Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised.
Right.
And I'll tell you why. I never understood the Huma Abedin relationship that you alluded to, right? State Department payroll, Teneo payroll, run by Doug Band, who also was at the CGI, and Clinton Global Initiative. How are you allowed to do that? I guess technically you're allowed to do that, but look at the optics. I guess you're allowed to do that, but the optics are atrocious. There's no defending this situation. This is exactly the concerns that people have always had about the Clintons. It goes back to the Lincoln bedroom and all the things that people are concerned about the Clintons. And what I don't understand is she knew that she was going to run for president. She's always known she was going to run for president. Whether it's this or the speeches, why set yourself up this way? Do you really need to do this? And the answer is, of course you don't. But I think in some cases they can't help themselves, and I find it very disappointing.
And they've always gotten away with it, haven't they?
What do you think, Gutfeld?
This is like when you turn over a rock, the Clinton rock, and it's just a smear of slime. That's the emails. The thing is, they've always been obsessed with money. Bill Clinton saw this as a reward. He's the poorest governor, remember? And America owes him, and he's entitled. He's like the disgruntled employee that steals from the register, and the register is America. They did their time. They want their money. What I find interesting, most interesting in their emails, there was a nugget of info when they were in Trinidad and Tobago. There was an email in which somebody was asking Huma Abedin for Hillary's schedule book, where she would be. This is a very important piece of information. And Huma writes back, I'm not there in my room, but the door's open. Her schedule is on the bed. Think about that. They left Hillary Clinton's schedule on a hotel room bed in a foreign country with the door open. You wouldn't even do that with a box of chocolates. You wouldn't do, I mean, and this is incredible. I mean, it's like me at a nude beach, no protection.
You do have to wonder how Huma Abedin and others in Clinton's circle, if she becomes president, how any of her team would ever get another security clearance.
It's insane. I mean, this is this is another example of lax security.
We have a little breaking news. We're gonna.
Is it really breaking news?
It's kind of breaking news. Chef Smith, really? Do we have breaking news or what?
We do. Facebook Live people now joining live on Fox News Channel. There's some guy climbing Trump Tower. And I want to show you, move Harry, I want to show you this over here. This is about the 6th floor. This is 56th Street and 5th Avenue in Midtown Manhattan. He's about 6 stories up. He's been climbing for an hour and a half. And he was over here. He came up this area of the building, then straddled across this, then went around the corner here. And now and you can see the police a little while ago, way up there, I can't reach that high, but they cut the glass out with a circular saw, and they're above him. There's another police officer out here. This is a ventilation system, I'm told, where they came out. They've been trying to talk some sense into him. Over here is another, what are you saying, Mark? Oh, okay, but over here there's some more police officers, as suggested. Down below, there are a lot of cops, and they put up an inflatable thing in case he falls. There's a deck right here. Down below on 56th Street, this is on the south side of the building, so the 56th Street side of the building, right at 5th Avenue. They've closed off pedestrian traffic as the glass was falling from the building, from the cops cutting a hole in the building there. They've also stopped vehicular traffic, and NYPD has sent out an alert, a traffic alert to people on Twitter and beyond, that it's completely congested in Midtown now at 56th Street and 5th Avenue. There's no traffic moving. It's 8 minutes after 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a muggy, sweaty, sweltering Wednesday in August in New York City. And Dingbat here is climbing the building. Now, here's an interesting part. I can't confirm this because I've been watching. But earlier, our friends from ABC7, the local ABC-owned and operated station, they had a camera there before we did. And they're reporting that in this backpack, from which he took a bottle of water just a minute ago, and had a swig before moving around from this side of the building to this side of the building, they saw paperwork in there with Donald Trump's name on it. So our friends from WABC are graciously allowing us to use their video, and they have a closer shot. This is a live picture. You can see these suction cups that he's using. He started down at a lower platform. He's gotten up now about 6 stories, and he appears to be doing that a roundabout thing instead of up and down. I don't know who he is. The New York Post has nicknamed him already, as they've been following this live, and we're covering this on Facebook Live as well. But guys, we don't know what his function is, what he wants, what message he's trying to send, if anything, or if he just decided he was bored and wanted to go climb the building. We have a resident rock climber here in the building who tells me that the shoes he's wearing are designated rock climbing shoes. NYPD Sergeant Brandon Ryan says emergency service unit on the scene. Man started on the 5th floor atrium, and he's climbed up a couple of stories from there. That's where the journey up the building began. Unknown number of officers on the scene, quoting, "They're trying to intercept him, but we want it to end safely for everyone involved." So there he is. They've called him Spider-Man on the New York Post, but he's climbing there, 5 people. He's climbing. I was told you might have a question.
Hi, Shep. I'm actually riveted by the video, and all I could think is, though, is this going to encourage a bunch of other people to go and do this so that they can get attention like we're giving them?
I don't know. You said you wanted the pictures. I was just doing it on Facebook Live.
Well,
I can't
it was
control
compelling.
what people do, but if some guy starts climbing a building, we're probably going to put a camera on him. I mean, golly.
We're going to take it around the table here. Kimberly, you got a question for Shep?
Yeah, so Shep, how long has this been going on, like start to finish? Was there any?
Since 3:45. It's been an hour and 25 minutes.
And any indication on this guy's pages that he had planned this in advance, or anyone saying that they knew that he was going to do this, where they could have, I guess, stopped him as a measure of public safety from scaling Trump Tower?
Nothing yet. You know,
we got to do a deep dive on him.
You know how we found out about it? Some guy walked through Trump Tower's building and said, "Excuse me, there's a man climbing the building." And they went out and they observed, indeed, there was a man climbing the building. And then ABC7 reported that they saw paperwork with Donald Trump's name on it. And as he was trying to climb up, the cops cut a hole in the building there. You can see up above. And now they've put some sort of blanket out, probably to keep anybody from getting cut if possible. But when they did that, the glass fell down to the street below.
Oh, jeez.
So they've cut that off. Vehicular traffic is stopped now. Pedestrian traffic. It's just a hot mess out there, guys.
Wow.
Hey, Shep, it's Julie.
Yep.
I assume he's going to get to Trump's penthouse at some point. Is there
That's
extra?
Yeah,
it's a long climb.
For
but
that, he's only 6 stories up. I think he's way up high.
Yeah, I assume. I'm hopeful that at least
the first 26 floors or so are offices, upscale offices, and then after that, once you get up into the sky, that's when the condos start. And I think Trump's up on some stories in the 50s. I think he has 3 floors up there somewhere, but he's not going to get to see Donald Trump today. I'm guessing if he wanted to do that, there were better ways to do it. But you know,
maybe he just wants a taco bowl from Trump Cafe.
Maybe he does. You know, Latino outreach.
We need to build a wall around Trump Tower.
Mexico will pay for it.
Yes.
Well, we've just been watching it on Facebook Live, and I'm told that people are riveted by it as well. There comes another blanket. The cops are outside the thing. And
do they think he's cold?
There's no way he's cold.
They want him to crawl
Not today. It's like a sauna out
Eric
there.
Bolling, do you have a question for Shep?
I'm just wondering, Shep, is the team monitoring the mainstream media? Have they blamed Donald Trump for this yet?
Not that I know of. Right. Has anybody blamed Donald Trump? Eric Bolling opines. No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Do you think, Shep, do you think he did this so we couldn't do a segment on Hillary's emails?
No, I don't. My guess is he's tired of her damn emails.
Do you think Bernie Sanders hired this man?
It could be. You know, this man does not appear to be elderly. If I were guessing, he'd be like an East Village or a
Bernie supporter.
No, you know, it's Corey Lewandowski. He's trying to get back in.
He's younger than Corey. He looks to me to be maybe 20 or so.
Maybe he just wants to see the hugest classic tower in the world.
He's talking to the cop up through the window. The cops have been very patient with him, and he's been talking back and forth. I saw him smiling at one point. When he was earlier, he was over here on this grate. And this is the corner of the building. He was making his way around, and his feet were in here, and he had his suction. And he pulled out a bottle of water and just, got a little refreshment there. Like I said, it's a hot day. He's getting lots of attention.
I recognize those legs. That's definitely Joe Scarborough.
Joe Scarborough. Got it. He's Florida's 1st district.
Yes.
Yes.
And now mornings.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Well, I am assuming you'll keep on it for us.
Yeah, and we're actually streaming this live. We're going to stay with this on Facebook Live, and should anything of note happen, we'll come back.
All right.
Facebook
okay, and
Live.
we'll be back to you this hour, I'm told, which will be great. All right. I think that is it for our A block. It was wonderful and eventful, and I studied really hard for that Clinton email
totally suctioned.
All right, coming up, Donald Trump continues to come under fire for his controversial Second Amendment remark about Hillary Clinton. The latest developments on that, and more Shep Smith soon ahead.
He can be the sun, I'll be the moon.